Hello and welcome. Now, in today's session, we are talking about conditionals. Now, here, this session is all about conditionals today. So, let's begin with it and have a look. In the very first frame, I have clearly given and I have clearly stated what conditionals are for. Because people generally question that why do we even use these conditionals? Or why do we talk or write or speak using conditionals? The major or primary reason of using conditionals is that conditionals are the language of possibility and probability. What do I mean by this? Let's have a look at the example. When I say conditionals are the language of possibility and probability, I mean that there could be some possibility of an action to take place, or it could be that an action taking place is probable or may not be probable. For example, when I say that this action may take place now, this action may not take place now. So the probability or the chances of that action to take place is high or low. Now, whenever you talk about chance, possibility or probability of an action, then we have to make use of conditionals. Let's have a look at the example quoted here. I have quoted, if I were a bird, I would fly high in the sky. Now, this word if is telling me about the condition that I am using in a sentence. See, I am not a bird, but when I say if I were a bird, I am talking about the possibility or the chances of me being a bird, right? I am not a bird, though if I just imagine, okay, if I just place a condition that if I were a bird, I would fly high in the sky. So we have made use of conditional keyword. And this property of using were here and not saying if I am a bird or if I was a bird, the reason we would discuss, that is what we are talking about today, the use of conditionals. Alright, so the keywords that we know, moving ahead, now that we know that we're talking about possibility and probability of being a bird, let's have a look here. Now, very first thing that comes up is zero conditional. What do I understand by this? Now, zero conditionals mean that whenever in a sentence you use a conditional clause or conditional statement, you will use present simple with it. Present simple tense with it, and we have done present simple tense. If you wish, if you haven't seen the videos, you can just go have a look at present simple tense. Now, so if you use present simple, which is nothing but use of first form or fifth form of verb, fifth form of verb means S or ES form, which is the singular form of verb. Okay. Now here, when I say if plus present simple, in the next clause after comma, this is a colon, semicolon that I have used, but in sentences we use comma. After the comma, the tense following would also be present simple. For example, if you study every day, you learn more. So this is something. See, if you study is present simple, you learn again present simple. Okay, and this is something that is a fact. If you study every day, definitely you will learn or you learn more. So whenever you have to talk about facts or things that are true in general, okay, that cannot be denied, things that are true in general. If I say, for example, if I work hard, if I work hard, I succeed. If you work hard, you succeed, right? So at that moment when I say this, it is telling me that yes, that definitely, that's true in general. That's a fact, right? So at that moment you use zero conditional, and zero conditional means use of same form of tense in both the clauses, whether you go for conditional part or you go for the later or the latter part. Okay? Alright, let's have a look at more examples. If I say if you heat water, it boils. Heat, again present simple, first form of verb. And boils, again present simple but fifth form of verb. If you heat water, it boils. Again, it's a fact. Can I deny it? No, it's true in general, right? So it's true in general, I cannot deny it. That is why I'm using present simple and present simple. Now when I say if you work hard, you succeed. Again first form of verb and again first form of verb. So this is how zero conditionals work. Pattern is as simple as this statement given here. We need to follow the same pattern to understand the concept clearer. Now we need to practice our own sentences, frame your own sentences, write your own sentences, only then this would help you. Moving ahead, next we talk about this. Now, there are a lot of, I would say, there are a lot of people who have different perspective on the use of conditionals, okay? So a lot of the use is dependent on speakers and writers' perspective. Now what happens is we mold it accordingly, okay? Many a times the writers or speakers mold the use of conditionals according to their usage or according to the way they want to use it. For instance, Ram Nath Kovind, we all know him, right? Ram Nath Kovind, exactly. He might say, if I become president, I will end the war. I will end the war. Now here what is happening is, I am not saying if I become the president, I end the war, because this is not a fact. Okay, this is not something that is true in general. I cannot make use of zero conditional, but here what I'm using is, I'm using first form in conditional clause, but I am using will here. I was not using will in zero conditional, but in this part I am using will and then I'm using first form of verb. So this is will plus first form of verb. Okay, this is will plus first form of verb. Now, so here when Mr. Kovind says this, when Mr. Kovind announces this or says this in a speech that if I become president, I will end the war, somewhere in his mind, this could be possible. This is quite probable. The possibility is there because he can be the president. See, I cannot be the president. If I say if I become president, I will end the war, that's wrong. Because there is no possibility, there is no higher possibility of me being the president, right? So I cannot say this, but Mr. Kovind can say and use first form along with will plus first form here. This is nothing but, this is first conditional, guys. This is first conditional using if plus first form or s or es if the subject is singular. Okay, first form is used with plural subjects and here fifth form is used with singular. This s or es form is used with singular subjects. And accordingly, will, shall, can, may follow. Now here, Ram Nath Kovind has a real possibility of being president of India. There will not come here. Present at least in his mind at the time of speaking. Okay? At the time of speaking. Now, he has a real possibility, learners, real possibility, and that is the reason. We are using first conditional here because the will, shall, can or may, they show you or they reflect actions when the possibility is or the possibility of that action is higher. Okay, that is why we're using first conditional here. Please remember, the will not come here. We don't use articles before names of countries. Plural countries take articles. We will do this when we do articles. No article required here. By mistake it is written. Alright, moving ahead. We have more examples. If she lies, now s or es form, which is fifth form, because she is the singular subject here. If she lies, she will lose her friends. That's true. If you lie, you lose your friends because nobody likes being with liars, right? So if she lies, she will lose her friends. Now, if they betray us, first form, because they is plural. If they betray us, they will have to pay for it. Will have is again first form, lose was again first form. They will have to pay for it. The manager will punish is first form, will plus V1, if he doesn't hit the target. Now doesn't hit, now here I have made use of does. Okay, I am making use of first form only. This is present simple only. The tense is present simple written in different context, written in different pattern. Does plus first form also reflects present simple tense, like did plus first form reflects past simple, does plus first form reflects present simple. Okay, so this is when you use first conditional. Okay, or you can say the manager may punish the lead if he doesn't hit the target. May, you can say here, you can use may also here. Okay, so whenever possibility or probability of an action is higher, okay, is higher, you will make use of first conditional. All right, you make use of first conditional. Okay, now if I move ahead and we further talk about this scenario, it says, now here I have taken it ahead. We are moving ahead with it. I took an example with Mr. Ramnath Kovind, right? Now here when I say a student in your class might say, okay, if I became president, I would end the war. Now there we were making if I become president, I will end the war. But here the sentence goes, if I became president, I would end the war. Why so? Why am I using it this way? The reason is that we don't see the student becoming president as a real possibility. We are less certain about it. And when you are less certain, or when the possibility of an action is low, we make use of would, should, could, or might. That is past models. And when you're using past models, the conditional clause will have definitely past form of verb. So you will use past form of verb in your conditional phrase, and you will use past models in your phrase that is following your conditional phrase. Okay, so I would say if I became president, I would end the war, because I am not sure. The possibility is low. The certainty of the action is low. Alright, let's have a look at more examples. It says, if you helped me, I could complete the task. Now because you didn't help me, I could not complete the task. But if you helped me, I could complete the task. Okay, so again, verb second form and past form. This is second form and this is past model. Now I would return the parcel if he came. Again, second form, would, and first form. Ronik would serve the guests if they arrived on time. Ronik would serve the guests if they arrived on time. Now if they are late, Ronik would not serve the guests. Right? So whenever you make use of first conditional, remember that the possibility or certainty of the action has to be higher, only then you can use. If possibility certainty of an action is lower, we have to make use of second conditional, that is this part. Okay, you can make use of first conditional also, but there's a difference, slight difference in terms of context. Okay, let's move ahead now. All right, now it says conditionals also have different pragmatic, that is practical functions. Now see, pragmatic is an amazing word. It is used very, now I would say it's often used these days. Now you will see people using pragmatic instead of saying practical. So they don't say practical approach, they say pragmatic approach. Okay, that is pragmatic functions, such as to give advice or warnings. Now this is what I am talking about. Conditionals, they give you or they help in giving advice or warnings, and they are very polite. They are subtle when it comes to giving warnings or advice. Okay, Let's have a look. If I were you, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Now, what I'm doing, I'm imagining, though I am advising also that if I were you, I wouldn't do that. I am advising because I've always been, or someone has gone through it, I've experienced it maybe. Now, why am I using were here? Why am I using were here? Now, in case of imaginary sentences, imaginary clauses, if I say, you remember the very first sentence today we started with was, if I were a bird. Now, that's not possible at all. It is not at all possible. It's just imaginary. Okay? So, imaginary statements or imaginary conditions take past plural form of verb. Imaginary situations take past plural form. So, were, okay? You can use instead of using was. We cannot use was. We have to make use of were. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. Let's have a look at other examples. It says, if I were you, I would grab that opportunity. Yes, that's really nice. So if I were you, I would grab that opportunity. He would detest you. He would detest you if you were like his younger brother. Now, he would detest. What does detest mean? Detest means dislike or hate. Okay, keep noting, learners. Detest means to hate, to dislike someone or something. Okay, that is detest. Now, next one says, Sakshi wouldn't accept the gift if she were in your place. So again, imagining, if she were in your place, she would not accept the gift. Okay, now because you're using would here, we are using would. The reason is because we are using second conditional. See, what is were? Were is past plural form. Past form of verb will take would, should, could, or might. That is what we are doing here as well. You are using past plural form of verb. We are using would plus first form of verb because with all the modal verbs, we use first form of verb. Alright? Yes. Moving ahead now. Finally, they are used to express regret also. See, if you regret something, if you think, okay, something went really wrong, it should not have happened that way, to express regret, okay, you can also make use of conditional. Now see how helpful they are, right? Okay, so it says, I had finished work earlier. It says, if I had, I'm really sorry, if I had finished work earlier, I would have gone to the movie. I would have gone to the movie. Now this is regret. This isn't an advice or suggestion. No, it's a regret. If I had finished work earlier, had finished. Now when I say had plus third form of verb, what do I mean by it? I mean this. That is third conditional. Okay. So whenever you have to express regret, you will have to make use of this conditional that is named as third conditional, though you don't have to do much about it. But yes, the pattern you have to take care. See, in zero conditional, we were using V1. In first conditional, we were using first form. In second conditional, we use second form. And in third conditional, we would be using third form. Okay. So third form can be used with had. This is important. So if I had work earlier, if I had finished work earlier, I would have gone to the movie. Would have plus third form of verb. See, would, should, could have plus third form of verb. Anything. Okay? It will work. Now, let's have a look at other examples that we have. I would have booked a seat. I would have. See, kar chuka hota. I would have booked a seat if you had informed me earlier. Because you did not inform, we could not book your ticket. Now, we are talking in past because these are all possibilities, okay? Next one says, if you had worked on the process, it would have got saved. Okay, again, had plus third form and then would. Next comes, if you had told him earlier. If you had told him earlier, he would have prepared the detailed report. So this is regret. If you had told him earlier, because you didn't tell him, the report has not been prepared. If you had told him earlier, he would have prepared the report by now. Okay? So, when we talk about conditionals, this is what I have in store for you learners. That is zero conditional, first conditional, and final, that's third conditional, using imaginary clauses also. Okay, imaginary, you will have to use past plural form, that is were. Alright, so this is what we have in store for you today. Thank you so much for being there with us. Keep learning and growing. Try to frame your own sentences. Keep working on it. I shall see you soon. Thank you so much.